guys, September 18th, news update in this one, but before I get into all of this, I just want to say thank you all from the bottom of my heart for supporting me and this channel, whether you like or comment or share the videos, or even those of you who have gone so far as to support me on things like Patreon or through grabbing a consult session from me. Whatever the case is, thank all of you. I appreciate the shit out of you, because this whole YouTube thing isn't the easiest thing in the world to do, but I love doing it. So thank you all for helping me do what I want to do and share this information with you guys. So there's that. But anyway, into the news for the day. First order of business is Pedogate, and I'm going to share a couple of things with you guys that are really going to show you, if you don't already know, how deep this all goes. So first order of business, we're going to talk about Iceland and what's gone on there the past couple of days. So basically what happened is that the whole government of Iceland is collapsing, and they're actually having to hold brand new elections on October 28th because it was found out that the Prime Minister's father was trying to cover up and clear the name of a convicted pedophile. So some people in the Prime Minister's coalition found out, they all quit, and then the Prime Minister had to quit himself. And what's really funny is that just a year ago, the government collapsed the first time because of the whole Panama paper thing. Remember that, when those leaked? But anyway, in those Panama papers, it was found out that the Prime Minister had a bunch of offshore accounts and things like that. So he quit a year ago and they had to hold elections. And that just happened again, except this time it was over that issue. So that's a really interesting occurrence. And then also what happened the past couple days is that a diplomat in DC who was a part of the Vatican Church was found with child pornography. And then what happened is that he escaped DC and ran off overseas to Rome to escape prosecution. You know, craziness. I'll link an article that I saw about it by the Free Thought Project down below, where you can read a little bit more of what happened, because this dude just dipped. And in this article, what's really funny is that Pope Francis is quoted as saying that only 2% of Catholic priests are pedophiles. 2%. But if you look at just what's happened this year, we're just going to talk about 2017 right now. We've had lots of different things break within the Vatican Church about their love for child pornography and that kind of weird shit. So we had Cardinal George Pell, who was one of the people at the highest levels of the Catholic Church. In June 2017, he was arrested for sexual assault offenses. Back in May, the Pope acknowledged that there was a backlog of 2,000 cases of alleged abuse that were not being addressed from the Church. In February, the Pope actually reduced sanctions against some Catholic priests that were seeking mercy from the Church. So let me tell you, I don't know how the hell he came up with that 2% number, but I'm thinking it's a little bit higher than that. So just these two articles show you how deep this all goes, and it really reaches to the top levels of not only our government, but religious institutions as well. So understand that, and understand that we're going to have a lot more stuff like this coming out. Now let's talk about Syria gun running by the Pentagon. This story's been breaking just today even, about a German prosecutor reviewing the claim of illegal arms shipments to Syria through Ramstein. That's what this article I'm looking at right now says. And what's essentially going on is that Ramstein Air Force Base, which is a massive U.S. Air Force base in Germany, was caught funneling weapons through it to go to moderate rebels in Syria. But of course, we know the moderate rebels in Syria really aren't moderate rebels. These arms basically go to a bunch of different terrorist organizations over there. You know, I sure miss Ben Swan, because that dude did some great reporting on how the U.S. was funding these rebels and ISIS in Syria. And now, you know, this story breaking today is showing you that that's exactly the case. And what's going on in Germany is that a prosecutor and the German government are not happy, at least some people in the German government. I'm sure some people knew about this, but others that just found out in the German government aren't happy because they were not told that these weapons were going through Ramstein Air Force Base. And legally in Germany, that has to be disclosed. So this gun running that was going on was completely illegal, and it's broke loose. The story's been, you know, can of worms has been opened. And I'm going to also point you towards a video that was on Ron Paul's YouTube just today, streamed a couple hours ago, about a Bulgarian investigative reporter discussing this whole story. So if you want to know more about it, great 23-minute video that was just on Ron Paul's channel. I'll link that down below. So if you want to educate yourself a little bit more on this, see that. I want to talk about this one really quickly here, because this one kind of slipped under the radar the past few days, but I think it's going to be a bit bigger than what's been reported on so far. So what happened is that Washington, D.C. got a new Attorney General. The Attorney General, her name's Jessie K. Liu, I hope I'm saying that right. She was sworn in and confirmed by the Senate on September 14th. Now, the cool thing is that this woman actually once jailed a Rothschild. So back when the whole Hurricane Katrina thing happened, there was someone in the Rothschild family who was caught embezzling money from FEMA. And she was actually the woman that prosecuted him and sent him to jail. So we have a new DA in D.C. who has jailed a Rothschild, and this district attorney actually personally met with Donald Trump before she was sworn in during the confirmation process, which is a very odd thing. That actually, I read that has never happened before. Usually, district attorneys from D.C. only meet with the U.S. Attorney General at highest, and usually some other people within the Senate committees and whatnot, but never the president. It's never been the case that a D.C. DA has met with the president before, but this woman has. So we have a woman who's now DA of D.C. who's met with Trump and jailed Rothschild. I really hope some good things come of this. So that's why I'm saying this might be bigger than we realize at this point in time, so let's keep our eyes on that. Now let's go to some Clinton-Trump stuff, because what more fun thing is there than to talk shit about Hillary Clinton? So we're going to go through some few things about her and Donald Trump real quick. Hillary Clinton, this article comes by way of Zero Hedge. I like those guys. This one says, Hillary Clinton's alternative take on what 1984, George Orwell's novel 1984, is all about. And they discuss an excerpt from her new book entitled What Happened. We all know what happened and what's been happening. But what's really funny is this little piece in her book literally says that we should... basically, her take about 1984 is that we should all rely more so on leaders and press and experts. Really? I wonder why Hillary Clinton wants us to rely on the press. Because it's in her pocket. But anyway, that's funny. Next, let's talk about the $800,000 that Hillary Clinton has been found sending to a new resistance group. So this article came out today is that Hillary Clinton sent 800 grand of campaign funds, right? It wasn't her whole premise of campaigning on truth and transparency. But anyway, she sent 800 grand of campaign funds to a non-profit resistance group that she started when Donald Trump won the presidency. She started a non-profit resistance group. It's called Onward Together. You know, it's a 501c4 nonprofit, which means donors can contribute unlimited sums of money while remaining anonymous. It was found, she donated 800 grand, so in my mind, what I'm thinking right now is, I wonder how much money George Soros has donated to this nonprofit, because that doesn't have to be disclosed. So, yeah, I mean, and also in my head, what I'm thinking is this money might be going to different anti-fascist Antifa groups, so would not be surprised. Really, at this stage of the game, I'm not surprised by anything anymore. So there's those things. I'm going to show this article to you by NPR. And this one says, no apology, no explanation, Fox News and the Seth Rich story. And it absolutely blows my mind how some people, right, I just say nothing surprises me and then I say it blows my mind, but it does blow my mind how some people still view NPR as being a objective, non-biased, reputable news agency. NPR is one of the worst. They're absolute horseshit. And what they're doing right now is shilling directly for Clinton and company, which no wonder she told us to, rely on the press for your news. NPR is putting the hush-hush again on the Seth Rich story, trying to put a bunch of misinformation and lies out there about it. They're really trying to come down on Fox News about the story that they posted for like a day a few months ago and then retracted it real quick because they caught a lot of heat for it. Not sure if you remember that, but that happened. But apparently there's now a lawsuit against Fox News for doing that, and that's what this article is all about. So just wanted to share that with you guys. Also wanted to tell you that Donald Trump is at the UN today. I believe he's meeting with the new French President Macron right now, and soon he'll also be meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel. So I'm interested to see how the reactions of the world leaders will change after this event, because we do know that Netanyahu, part of that Zionist clan over in Israel, part of that deep state. So we'll see what comes of this, And it's very funny because a lot of the trolls under my videos, they try to come at me of any angle they can. They've been calling me a Zionist lately because I haven't talked about it, and, I must be an Israel shill, right? Well, I just talked about it. Zionists are not a good thing. And then lastly, Emmys. So the Emmys were last night, and absolute failure because these Emmys were the lowest rated Emmys ever. And I don't doubt that that's probably the case because it was basically 3 hours of an anti-Trump fest headed by Stephen Colbert. And I just want to make a quick connection for those who don't know. Stephen Colbert's sister ran for office in some political office. I don't remember what it was for, but she was backed by Clinton and company. It was actually more so John Podesta. So the Podesta brothers, the Podesta group, actually held a fundraiser for Stephen Colbert's sister when she was running for that political office. So I wonder why, actually I don't wonder why, we know exactly why, Stephen Colbert is so anti-Trump, because he's got direct connections to the Clinton and Podesta faction right there. So a little knowledge nugget for you guys. And man, I just want to say that I used to love Stephen Colbert. This was a while ago. It was like 8 to 10 years ago. But when I was watching kind of Jon Stewart and Colbert was on there and then he broke off and started his own show, I was like super into all his satire and cracked me up. I even bought his first book, I'm America and So Can You, that came out. But man, how things change, right? Now I just can't stand that guy. So it's amazing what a good awakening process will do to your brain. Change your perceptions over time. And then lastly, I want to discuss more UFO sightings. These things are happening like all the time, folks. And it's another thing that's giving me faith that we are so close to some kind of breakthrough, because it's almost every day now that we're getting some mass sighting in the sky somewhere in America, let alone the world. Who knows how many of these things are happening across the globe, but just in America here. Past day, we've had 2. One was in Salt Lake City. There was a big sighting. Local news picked it up there. They said strange lights spotted in sky above Salt Lake City, and there was a bunch of dots in the sky. Again, don't know if it was non-terrestrial, don't know if it was a man-made secret space program craft. This one, it looks like all the dots were in a triangular formation, so that does lead me to believe that it might actually be one of our own. But again, these guys in these secret space programs, in these black projects, some of them do want to get this stuff disclosed to humanity. And what's going on is there's a big behind-the-scenes war about how much they're going to disclose. There's some factions, normally associated with the Navy and whatnot. We can't be sure that they are, but some factions, they want to disclose everything, all of it, the deepest stuff. Others want a more slow rollout of this all so it doesn't look so bad on them. And those are the groups often associated with the Air Force, you know, it has been claimed. So there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, but again, that disclosure ball is just snowballing. It's getting bigger and bigger. So at this point, it's just like, grab the popcorn, you know, it's coming. So strange lights above Salt Lake City, and then more strange lights. This article said weird lights. Weird flashes of light with no thunder over Los Angeles perplexes scientists. And it says they definitely look extraterrestrial. And this was actually, surprisingly, this was posted on the mirror.co.uk website, which is normally used as like a tabloid to put all this stuff out in a ridiculing manner. But this article was not under their weird news section that they used to tabloid all this stuff with. This was under their world news section. So it's as if they're trying to get people to take this a little more seriously, saying it definitely looks extraterrestrial, and then saying it perplexes scientists. So it's like, oh, you know, even scientists, even the smartest among us, you know, were left stunned by this. So, you know, any real scientists out there, those that look at all the phenomenon unbiasedly, understand what's going on here, but it's gonna perplex the conventional mainstream scientists that we have. So anyway, think I covered it all well. Pedogate reaches the top, man, and it's only gonna continue rolling. Trafficking of arms, and again, the elite traffic everything through the black market they can get their hands on. Organs, humans, kids, guns, drugs. You know, we hear that money that's been found missing through the Pentagon, which is like 15 trillion now, it's been estimated. That's just public money, you know? I wonder how many trillions these deep state have made on black market stuff. But, tangent aside, new DC Attorney General, keep your eyes on that. Just wanted to talk some crap about Clinton and then UFOs, you know, fun stuff. So, anyway, again, thank all of you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing. I'll be back soon. Peace.